Well, hello there. Today, I'll be showing you 5 awesome alternatives to the classic Omega Speedmaster. All of these models will cost under $400, so there is no excuse for all of you to not pull the trigger on one of these quality alternatives. So without further ado, let's get into the list. Our first one on the list is the Fossil Decker, which is only under $100. This piece resembles the Speedmaster due to the tachometer and the dial being very similar to the Omega. In regards to the Fossil's specifications, it has a 44mm case. That is quite big, however, it is only 2mm wider than the original Speedmaster Professional. This watch is quite thick for a non-mechanical watch, coming in at 13mm thick, meaning it will sit fairly high on the wrist. It has a 22mm lug width, meaning it can be replaced with various straps which can be commonly found. Now, in regard to the movement, the Fossil houses a basic quartz chronograph movement, which is decent for a watch around $100. The battery life on this model is only 3 years, which isn't great, but isn't too bad either. However, this piece does have 100 meters water resistance, meaning it's perfect for swimming and daily use. The crystal is only mineral, which is okay for the price, but I would at least like a sapphire. It does also have a date complication, so you'll always remember the date. This model comes with a silicone strap, but there are also models that come with a stainless steel bracelet, but they cost a bit more. Overall, for around $100, the Fossil Decker is a great choice for those who want the Speedmaster look without the Speedmaster price tag. Now, you can always count on the legend, which is Casio, to give you a great option. Here we have the Casio Edifice EF503D1A. This model only goes for $150, which is definitely an attractive price for this attractive piece. This model also shares a very similar dial shape to the Speedmaster due to the tachometer design and the dial layout. The red second hand also makes this unique and stand out. In regards to its features, it has a 41.4 case size, which is almost identical to the Speedmaster Professional. The Casio is also 10.4mm thick, meaning it doesn't wear as high as the previous Fossil, and can fit nicely under a cuffed shirt. The lug width is 20mm, which allows a wide range of straps to be put on it. There is a quartz chronograph movement that is quite accurate for the $150 mark, which is Japanese made as well. It only has a mineral crystal, which isn't the best, but it will do fine. The Casio also has an impressive 100 meters water resistance, meaning it can be used for swimming and everyday use. This model does have a stainless steel bracelet, which is fairly decent for the price. This will provide a more similar look to the traditional Speedmaster alternative you get today. There is also a date complication, meaning you'll always have the date on you. Casio never disappoints, as this edifice is a very good, affordable alternative to the Omega Speedmaster. Now, for a legendary Swiss company, which is Tissot. They have made the T-Sport V8 chronograph. This model usually goes for around $300, which is great for a Swiss-made chronograph that looks like the Omega Speedmaster. The Tissot does have its own individual characteristics, however, with the larger sub-dials and the two-tone stainless steel bracelet. But it still pays respect to the Omega's design. In regards to its specifications, it has a 42.5mm case size, which is a good size for most wrists, and it is only 0.5mm bigger than the Speedmaster Professional. The Tissot has a case thickness of 11.22mm, which means it sits fairly well on the wrist. Lug width is 22mm, which is fine and will accommodate many different straps. Now, the V8 houses a Swiss-made ETA caliber G10.212 quartz movement, which is really good for a watch under $300. This piece also has a rattrapante feature meaning it will catch up on the sub-seconds on the sub-dial, which is almost unheard of for a Switch-made watch under $300. The V8 can also come with a Swiss-made automatic ETA movement, but will cost it more than double compared to its quartz counterpart. This model also has 100 meters water resistance, which is more than enough for everyday use in swimming. The Tissot has a scratch-resistant sapphire crystal, which is superb for a Swiss watch under $300. This piece also has the date complication, which is very handy. The stainless steel bracelet is well made, with the middle links being highly polished. Overall, a Swiss-made chronograph that resembles the Omega Speedmaster is a big yes in my books. For our next watch, we have a piece coming out from the micro brand of Dan Henry, with the chronograph 1962. This is a great choice for around the $300 mark. It almost looks identical to the Speedmaster, except for a few differences. The reverse panda dial is a style cue, which gives the 1962 chronograph its own flavour, without straight up copying the Omega Speedmaster's design. It also has a vibrant red second hand, which looks great and stands out. This model has a 39mm case that is great for those with smaller wrists, and also my wrists as well, because they are a bit smaller, but it isn't too small for the big guys out there either. It has a 20mm lug width, which provides the option for many aftermarket straps. This piece is fairly thick, being 13.5mm, but it is justified due to its movement. The 1962 houses a Seiko caliber VK63 Mecha Quartz movement. This is a great movement as it provides the sweeping seconds hands that a mechanical watch has, but it has a reliability of a quartz base. I reckon this is the best of both worlds. It only has 15 meters water resistance, which means you can't swim with it, but it's fine for everyday life. There is a mineral crystal, but it has a double domed crystal and is anti-reflective treatment as well, which is great. The 1962 has the option for no date or date, which I think is very handy for those who don't like the date window. This piece also comes in a blue dial, which is beautiful, the normal standard panda dial, that is a classic, and a gold and black dial, which is to die for. For around the $300 mark, this is an amazing option for those who want a Mecha Quartz chronograph that looks like the Omega Speedmaster. Now, it would be rude of me not to mention the Legend, which is the only other watch that has been on the moon. I present you the Bulova Lunar Pilot Moon Watch. For under $400, you can get a piece of horological and moon space history. The Bulova was worn by astronaut David Scott in 1971 when he was on the Apollo 15 mission to the moon. The actual watch that was on the moon sold later in 2015, get this, for a huge $1.3 million, which is crazy. Anyways, in regards to the specifications, the Bulova has a big 45mm case, which is too big for my wrist, which sucks, but it's okay for those with a big wrist. It is also fairly thick, being 13.5mm, but it houses a special movement which accommodates this size. It also has a 20mm lug width, which allows for a wide range of aftermarket straps. The Bulova has a 262 KHZ caliber, which is Bulova's high performance quartz movement. This allows both the second hand and second subs dial to have a sweeping motion, but it still allows to have the reliability of a quartz watch, very similar to the previous Dan Henry model I talked about. There is also a sapphire crystal, meaning it will be protected against most scratches, which is great. However, it only has 50 meters water resistance, so you can't go swimming, but it's okay for everyday use. This model also has the date, which is very handy for when you're up in space. There is also a full black stainless steel version of the Bulova, which looks stunning and is also a great alternative to the Omega Speedmaster Dark Side of the Moon. However, this version is a bit more extensive, but it's still attainable. So for a watch that's also been on the moon, You could say it isn't even an alternative to the Speedmaster due to its own heritage, but still, it's an amazing alternative to the Speedmaster that also has its own space history. Well, there you have it. Here are 5 great alternatives to the Omega Speedmaster that all cost under $400. Thank you for watching, and make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Also, stay tuned for more similar watch content. See you later.